Do you ever feel like you are not that worthy because your parents don't want to listen to you, never treat you as who you are, they don't try to understand you, or you have a trouble to communicate with your parents, scared of called ungodly by your parents just because you don't want to obey your parents? Relax, because it's not happened to you, but it happened for you. It happened to help you see the purpose behind it. If this is your problem, then this video is right for you, because in this episode, let's dive deeper and talk about how to overcome the unconscious parenting. Hello beautiful soul, welcome back with me, Cindyaco. In this channel, I talk about intuition, inner self, consciousness, and everything that help you transcend yourself and become authentically powerful. This video is made by request of some people that has been sharing, they're asking me about unconscious parents. Every one of us must have a parents, and I believe that we are all souls having a human experience on earth. In this earth, we live in 3 dimensions. If you want to become authentically powerful, remember that authentic is a form of high vibration. When you are on a high vibration, you naturally become authentic and you live authentically as who you are. You need to know what's that still holding you, and you need to learn to let go all of attachment, labels, trauma, inner wounds, or anything that's still holding you back. After that, you need to learn how to heal yourself. I'm gonna share about how to heal yourself in my next video, so stay tuned. In this episode, I'm gonna dive deeper about one of the roots of problem that's still holding you, your childhood moment. First and foremost, when we incarnate on earth, we totally forgot who we really are. We adapt everything from this physical world, and we fully dependent on how our parents or your guardian, either it's your parents, your guardian, each of them must have a parenting background too in their childhood. And psychologically, everything that happened in human childhood has a big potential to continue that parenting to their children. Beliefs, educational system, living standard, and many more. That's a quote that say that how your grandparents parenting your parents similar with how your parent parenting you. Proof that a fruit doesn't come far from the tree. So you know that each person, including your parents, either your mom, your father, your guardian that raised you up, have a background. You start to understanding how it works. It shows the mature side of you, which is you start to understanding them instead of judging them. I know that every children must have something that they don't like about their parents. But what I'm gonna tell you in this episode is, I used to think that maybe it's about communication, but I found that communication or the difference between the parents' era and the children's era. But I found something deeper when I heal myself and I do hypnotherapy. I found that the most crucial problem is unconscious parenting. Most of parents still on their journey to their consciousness. I believe that every one of us that have parents must have something that they don't like from their parents, especially when your parents trying to make you obey them, but in the name of love they do something that either is not right for you, it's not supporting you to become authentically you, or what they teach you is something that you can compromise because it's not something that aligns with your personal value, it's not something that aligns with who you want to become. It's not something that supports you become your authentic self, to live authentically as who you are. I truly believe that most of parents did the same way. When you're still young, it's your parent responsibility to parenting yourself. But as an adult, you are responsible with reprogram your mind, with reparenting yourself. It means you are responsible with your healing. You're totally responsible with who you are. Every person has their own journey, which is maybe it's different with you. And when it comes to parenting, when you were born, you raised up by parent, which is they have a level of consciousness that maybe still on the third dimension, which is they teach you about material things, they teach you about this physical world, they teach you about how to look beauty, have degree, become a good children, not naughty, become a diligent one, and always obey and honor their parents. That's what most of parents teach their children. And not only parents, but the society and the environment, especially in East culture. If you want to be a good children, a polite one, you must obey whatever your parents teach you, whatever your parents tell you. But the truth is, not everything that your parents or your guardians tell you is compatible or support your authentic self, support your self-value, self-worth, and that's become a problem that root inside you unconsciously until you grow up as an adult. And the parenting when you were childhood will continue, you adapt till you have a children, and it will continue to generation by generation until one generation are brave enough to cut the cycle, to start questioning, to bravely get out from comfort zone. It's not about how to being rude to your parents. For the children, it's very hard because they feel like it's poisoning themselves to become authentically themselves, because the true nature of children is just being themselves. But if parents, especially when they have some expectation about their children, you should be success, you should be rich to be happy, you should get married before 30, you should have double degrees, so you will be respected by others, so you will easier to getting job. If you are the one who wants to get out from this cycle, but you too afraid to labeled by rude children or ungodly children because you are not obey to your parents, I want to tell you that behind these obstacles, behind these difficulties between you and your parents, there's a blessing in disguise. When you are aware with this, it means you are conscious enough to look this as a problem, as an unusual thing that happened in your life, that happened around us. I want to appreciate you because you are on a conscious journey, even though you've experienced unconscious parenting, but you are conscious enough to aware of what happened to you, aware of what happened around you that affects to yourself. That's a first good step to help you back to your true self. What makes it hard? Because parents is your first role model, and also how they're parenting you is the most stressful way that you believe until you become a parent. If you are conscious enough to look that as an unconscious parenting, as an unconscious way that you need to stop it, it means you are on your journey to become authentically powerful, to back to your true self, to get out from this cycle, to unplug from this cycle, to live, liberate as your authentic self, to live as who you are. And the problem must come from the closest people, which is your parents. when they still unconscious, then they will perceive you in a biased perspective, which is they can see you as who you really are. They will see you as something that they expect about you as a children that lies in their expectation. But if you get out from their expectation, they will start thinking that you are ungodly, or you are rude, or you are naughty, and that's why they start to give you negative feedback. Most of parents forget that children is a mirror of themselves. When you come to your parents' life, it's time for them to really learn about life, because you are still still on a highest vibe. I know that it is not easy for the children, because you must obey that something that you are not. You don't have an option rather than reject them. That's why most of parents always think how to control their children. They always create a system or something that can discipline their children to obey themselves. Parents cannot raise their children like how they've been parenting by their parents, because this is not your parents' era anymore. Parents should learn from the children about this era. So this is the upside down that parents don't really conscious enough. The first source, the first root, children learn about love. But if they learn and adapt the unconscious love, they adopt their unconscious love from their parents and thinking that that's the proper love, that's the truest love. Love's supposed to be like that, because I felt that when I was a child. That's what often makes your relationship complicated, because at the very first beginning, you comes with your unfinished childhood, and your partner also comes with an unfinished background in their childhood. That's what makes life complicated, because all of people act in the name of love, which is they don't really conscious about the meaning of love itself. The truth is, love is a high vibration. It took a high conscious people to become the love itself. First and foremost, you need to realize, be aware that this is not happen to you, but this is happen for you. This is happen for your own good. This is happen for you to help you become a better version of you. This is happen to help you unleash something that you never know before about yourself. There's a divine purpose here. I mean by that is in every obstacles that you've been through, and one of the obstacle is how you face your unconscious parent, how you face your inner childhood background that's still unfinished inside you, to help you purify yourself so you can back to your true self. Second, you already have self-awareness. Practice that. You need to keep listen to your self-awareness, what your higher self told you inside. I've already shared about how to listen to your higher self, listen to your intuition in my previous video. Even though you think that you are alone to face this, because you don't dare enough to face it alone, to reject your parents' expectation, to get out from comfort zone. This is your opportunity to be more aware with your inner self, to be more aware with clarify inside you first. Know yourself as clear as you can, because you can be honest with others if you don't first honest with yourself. I always love this quote from Aristotle: knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So before you know anything, first you need to know deeply about yourself, knowing about how you think, knowing about who you really are, knowing about what happened with you inside and outside. Observe yourself, how you think, how you act, how you speak, how you respond to others, what's wrong inside you, what you need to learn from these obstacles, and everything that you should look inward, because everything that you are looking for is already here. And if you're looking it and from the external, like your parents always say it, like you should get rich, you should be successful, you should get married before 30, you should have a degree standard, be good as your culture, you should keep your religion. When you know your identity, you start knowing your value, you start knowing your worth. And when you know your worth, you don't let anyone tell you about who you really are. You don't easily trust words that people told you, because you can filter it from yourself. You can filter every words that your parent teach you, every words that your parent tell you. You are fully responsible with your life. You know how to handle yourself. You know how to control yourself. You know how to master yourself. You will reach a point which is the only one that you should change. It's not about your circumstance, it's not about your parents, but it's about yourself. If you want a different result, then you should do a different way. Third, when you choose to live authentically as who you are, have a courage to labeled by rude, labeled by ungodly, and everything. It's all just a label. Focus on the essence behind it. Once you know that you do it for a great purpose, the spirit guides, you call it God, the universe, angels, will support you to make it happen, because it's aligned with the divine energy purpose. The divine energy always make everything for a good purpose, but because we are a mortal and limited being, that's why our unconscious bias translate those things as a bad or negative thing. So if you see something as a negative, your challenge is to transform your mind into a positive thinking. And once you can train your mind to a positive thinking, then you will gain the insight behind everything that you've been through, behind this obstacle. Acknowledge yourself and accept the fact that nobody's perfect, including yourself and your parents as well. See their unconscious bias as their own journey instead of blaming them and expect them to become like another parents, to become unconscious parents, or to become anything. Because in love, there's no expectation. There's only pure giving. There's only pure wish for the loved ones, great intention for your loved ones. So if you can see it as their own journey instead of blaming them, then you already become an overcomer of your own mind. You become an overcomer of your own self-mastery. They only can awake, they only can be conscious in their own time. And how they awaken can be through you or through any people or through any situation. Focus on your self-love first. Focus on improving yourself and back to your true self, including these obstacles about how to respond to your parents when the condition or your situation doesn't change, but how you respond to that condition and situation has changed. That's the point and the essence of true self-mastery. So that's your challenge, how you become an overcomer of your own obstacles. And every time you must face a condition which is you should choose, you should decide between disappoint others or disappoint yourself. Always choose to disappoint others as much as you can, so you can keep choosing yourself over others. Because in life, every people and situation will come and go, but the only one inside you will stay. So be good to yourself. Always have the best relationship with yourself before you have any relationship, because that will bridge every relationship that you have. And once you finish with yourself, then you can face every relationship clearly, because you already finished with yourself. So my point from this video is come back to look inwards, and if you have something that you resist, remember that everything that you resist, either in your hidden power or your weakness or something that you still can face, and you choose to keep it inside you, that will become a resistance, and that resistance will become a shadow inside you, according to Culture theory. And the shadow inside you will bounce back at you, and the longer you keep that shadow, the bigger that shadow will bounce back to you through other people, through other situations that you must been through. So if you must face something, always remember to face it until you really clear with it, until you finish that problems. So there's no shadow inside you, and you're free from the resistance inside you. You're free from the expectation that you give to yourself. You're free from every blockage inside you that's still holding you to back to your true self. Transcend yourself to do everything that beyond your expectation. So that's all for me today. I hope that you can face this problem clearly. This is your inner work, and no one can do it for you rather than you, because no matter how you dependent on others, remember that depending is also a resistance and also attachment, and that will block you. So remember to keep yourself free. Liberating yourself, it starts from you. It's a part of self-love, and it's not about being right or wrong. It's about brave to take risks. It's about how you learn to solve your problems, to overcome your obstacles, push yourself beyond your limits, get out from your comfort zone, back to your authentic self, and to take your power back. And you can utilize this obstacle as a contribution to help others who facing the similar obstacles that you've been through, like what I do right now. So be grateful for it. So that's all for me today. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your willingness to learn and to become a better you. See you again in my next video. Stay with me, cindyaco. Bye bye. Much love.